Morning guys. The last class what we have studied is we discussed about a very new concept called biomimicry, right? So I explained you some of the important introductional details about the biomimicry, also give practical explanations about the biomimicry. Especially I gave you an in-depth detail about how an ant searches for the food uh, by going away from his home or den and again returns back. So basically the biomimicry is all about mimicking the nature or else the environment, because we believe that nature or environment has the best solutions uh, for any problems, because we know nature might have identified any problem and it has the sustainable actually sustainable solution inside himself, that nature, so that it can come out of the particular problem by finding a best solution out of it. So what we do is, this particular part of biomimicry, we look into the nature, identify identify the similarity between our problem as well as the problem which is in the nature, and then propose a solution which closely resembles the nature's identified solution or else the nature's solution, right? In this particular class we are going to study again a very interesting topic called value engineering, right? The main primary agenda of this one is this one: not all the solutions are good. Essentially few of the solutions will be optimal, right? That solution which gives me the optimality will provide me more value, and that concept I call it as value engineering. ഇതിനെ കൂടുതൽ ഞാൻ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ, നിങ്ങൾ മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺ വാങ്ങണല്ലോ, അപ്പോൾ മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺ വാങ്ങുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എന്താണ് നോക്കുന്നത് ആക്ച്വലി? സേ ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ഐ ആം പേയിങ് 10,000 rupees. Inside the 10,000 rupees, what are the things that I am getting? I may not be looking into the brand name. സാംസങ് മൊബൈലും ഐഫോണൊക്കെ കൂടുതൽ റേറ്റ് അല്ലേ, അപ്പോൾ I may not be looking at the brand name, but I am interested in the value which it brings in, the amount which I pay, and how that mobile phone pays me back, how it pays me back. That is nothing but value engineering. ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പറയാവുന്നത് ഇതാണ്, നമ്മൾ ഒരു മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺ വാങ്ങാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് കുറച്ച് എമൗണ്ട് നമ്മൾ മാറ്റി വയ്ക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ആ എമൗണ്ടിൽ എത്ര നമുക്ക് വാല്യൂ കിട്ടും, മനസ്സിലായോ? സോ ഇതിൽ കൂടുതൽ ഗ്ലാമർ ഒന്നും നമ്മൾ നോക്കില്ല, പിന്നെ ബ്രാൻഡ് നെയിംസ് ഒന്നും നോക്കില്ല, പക്ഷേ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന വാല്യൂ എത്രയാണ്. So the same thing we are going to study here, that is nothing but the value engineering. Let us see one by one. So this particular slide, I am rubbing this because it's not needed. Okay, in this particular topic we are going to check out the history, why the value engineering has been invented, the concept of value engineering, and what is the formal definition of the value engineering, and what are the things that we have to do for the implementation of the value engineering, as well as the principle as well as the purpose of the value engineering. These things we are going to study, right? So he is the one, that is Professor Lawrence D. Miles was responsible for inventing the value engineering actually. So in World War II, they felt like a acute shortage of materials have been felt at that time. Okay, so GE company, GE company ഇപ്പോൾ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, ജനറൽ ഇലക്ട്രിക്, GE എന്ന് പറയും. So they found many substitutes for actually for the original engineering material or engineering solution that will be an alternate for this engineering solution but will serve as good as the original engineering solution. So he was the one behind that idea. okay, because they felt a shortage of materials. So, and I mean, in between the World War II, they had the lack of the funding and all. So finally, they settled with a substitutes or else alternate solution, which will be as good as the original solution. Okay, so they called that particular actually society as SAVE Society, SAVE, right? So what is value? This is the formal definition of the value. Value is the ratio of the worth to the cost. ഞാൻ മൊബൈൽ ഫോണിൻ്റെ എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, സെയിം തിങ് ആക്ച്വലി. എത്ര നമുക്കത് യൂസ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും യൂട്ടിലിറ്റി, എത്ര നമ്മൾ പൈസ മുടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ ദ റേഷ്യോ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദ ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ഓർ എൽസ് ദ യൂട്ടിലിറ്റി ടു ദ കാസ്റ്റ് ഇസ് നത്തിങ് വിത്ത് ദ വാല്യൂ. സോ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു പ്രോജക്റ്റ് എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. സേ ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ നമ്മളൊരു മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺ, സാംസങ് മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺ ആകുന്നുണ്ട്. അറ്റ് ദ സെയിം ടൈം ഇൻഫിനിക്സ് എന്ന് ഒരു മൊബൈൽ നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇൻഫിനിക്സ് right? So I mean recently, I am owning a Samsung mobile actually, which is pretty costly, and actually one of my kids, when they were asking me the mobile phone because of the online classes and all, I thought like I cannot spend more on that actually. So what I did is like I went for the value engineering concept. Like I went for the Infinix mobile phone, and much surprisingly, very surprisingly, this Infinix mobile phone can outperform my Samsung mobile phone any day. Even the specifications are much lesser, like adanda processor ella much lesser than graphics card ella much lesser than, but still this always wins my M31. I'm really surprised actually, because this Infinix mobile phone is like 1/3 of my original my mobile phone actually. This is what it is actually. Okay, so this unnecessary cost, why it is coming? Maybe the Samsung mobile phone, we know that brand name ആണ്. പക്ഷേ ഞാനിത് ജസ്റ്റ് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞതാണ്. അത് ഇവിടെ വെറുള്ള ജസ്റ്റ് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ മാത്രം പറഞ്ഞതാണ്. So why do projects have unnecessary cost? Maybe very short time they might have designed, or else they without the knowledge of the particular without the knowledge of the particular product, they might have started the design. That means they might have ended up spending more time in designing the particular product. That is dangerous actually. So information കിട്ടാതെ കൊണ്ട് അവർ ചിലപ്പം ലൈക്ക് ഡിസൈനിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും തെറ്റ്, ഓപ്റ്റിമൽ സ്കെച്ച് ഉണ്ടാവില്ല ചിലപ്പം they might have taken more time to design, right? So as mentioned in the first point itself, sometimes in case if the particular project team does not have a good expert, then they might be lacking ideas. Negative prejudice like negative prejudice means like ഒരു പോസിറ്റിവിറ്റി ഇല്ലാതെ, പോസിറ്റീവ് തോട്ട് ഇല്ലാതെ നെഗറ്റീവ് തോട്ടിൽ തന്നെ ലൈക്ക് the entire team crew might have worked actually, and experience ഇല്ലാതെയും like and one-to-one relations undallo, in case if they have come short of that one, or else if they are not good in the multi concept, these 7 points may contribute to the swell in the cost of the project, right? These are the 7 facts that the previous Ledel and Kanisandalo professor he has identified. Okay, so basically according to the definition of the value engineering, it says it's a management technique. This kind of management technique another engineering technique nalla ittadu, this kind of value engineering ana, പക്ഷേ definition normal they are calling it as management technique that seeks best functional balance between the cost, reliability as well as the performance of a product or else project. Okay, so this is the definition of the value engineering. So basically the entire value engineering has 8 significant steps that are orientation, information, functional thing, and creativity, and then evaluation of the things what they have invented, development process, and then presenting what they have developed, and then implementation, and then follow up, right? So what is orientation phase? So the biggest purpose of having this orientation phase is to identify the issues why the cost has been projected up, right? So this is where we identified, I mean, this is a process where we will identify the peculiar or else the extraordinary reasons of the cost being skyrocketed, right? So the issues, the real issues you will be identifying, and then that particular issues will be prioritized actually, which, I mean, prioritize means what, which is the major contributing reason. So like or ascending order la model angotu varum. Okay, then we'll be having the scopes as well as objectives, how to face this particular issue, and then we go for the evaluation factors. Evaluation factors means what? Evaluation strategy for reducing the reducing any factors that will pull down the value. Okay, then finally we will be deciding which particular study team is very critical in analyzing the particular data, and then they will be responsible for collecting the data, and they will go for the value study finally. Okay, so in short what I am saying is that particular major team will identify the major issues, and then they will prioritize it, and then they will go for the scopes as well as objectives, and then they will develop an evaluation strategy, and then they will determine the best team to collect the data as well as prepare a value study. Okay, so that makes sense now. So this part of the job plan is called information phase. So this is where the entire team will be taking part of the project. Starting one particular defect is like a lack of coordination between the members, lack of coordination between the team members actually. So that is a reason in this information phase everyone will have a get together kind of thing, and they will participate together in a meeting, and then they will be identifying the true need of the particular project. So that will be extremely important, because they will be discussing and they will be identifying by discussion. Important. So they will be identifying by discussion, and they will finally come out with the actually the reasons, major reasons why that particular area has the particular cost has shot up. The same team whom they have identified in the was identified in the previous case, they will be working on the particular strategy of the particular product which have been proposed as well as which is being developed actually, and they identify the basic function of the proposed product. Basic function means what? Bare function ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ ഒരു സൂപ്പർഫിഷ്യൽ ഫംഗ്ഷൻ അല്ല, എസെൻഷ്യൽ ഫംഗ്ഷൻ മാത്രം അവർ അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിനെ മാത്രം ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യും. ദിസ് ഈസ് ആൻ എക്സ്ട്രീംലി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് സ്റ്റെപ്പ്, ബിക്കോസ് ദിസ് ഈസ് വേർ ദേ മിസ്റ്റേക്ക്. In case if the particular team is mistaking the basic functionality, they may end up with some superficial structure of the particular product that will skyrocket the actual cost of the particular product, right? So this is a creative step. This is where the brainstorming session will occur. So here most probably they will be discussing with some of the professors. They will be having a chit chat session, and they will be developing actually an interactive session with the senior most faculty in that particular faculty or researchers in that particular area, and they will be identifying a lot of problems which they have excluded in the previous stage. So this is also an important stage, because this brainstorming session can bring out the best of any team. Okay. So this is called evaluation phase. So here they actually they judge or they measure actually the quality of the idea which have been developed in the creative phase actually. So they mainly rank on these two ideas. So they may be discarding the ideas which are irrelevant or else not worthy, so that they don't have to waste the time as well as money on the particular area. And also they identify the ideas that represent the great potential for cost saving. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ primary objective എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ like ഇത് brainstorming previous session, I mean, കുറച്ച് slide ഒക്കെ കാണിച്ചു. Primary objective എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ reduce the cost, increase the quality, thereby achieve a quality product. So this is what it is actually. So improvement ഉണ്ടാവണം, at the same time cost effective ആയിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാവണം. Cost താഴോട്ട് വന്ന് cost effective ആയിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാവണം. So that is the idea. So very sure in the previous session they might have come up with some brilliant ideas where the cost has been minimized, but the quality of the product has been maximized actually. So it is like a actually optimization technique actually. So they will be striking a balance between the cost as well as quality of the product. Quality ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് ഇംപ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ഉറപ്പായിട്ട് കാസ്റ്റ് ഇംപ്രൂവ് ആവും, നമുക്ക് അത് നാച്ചുറൽ ആണ്. പക്ഷെ വാട്ട് ഐ എം സേയിങ് ഇസ് കാസ്റ്റ് വെസസ് ക്വാളിറ്റി ആണ്. കാസ്റ്റ് വെസസ് ക്വാളിറ്റി. നമുക്ക് ഒരു ബാർ മിനിമം, ഐ മീൻ ഒരു ബോർഡറിൽ ക്വാളിറ്റി വച്ചിട്ട് കാസ്റ്റ് കുറയ്ക്കാൻ പറ്റും. ഹൈ ക്വാളിറ്റിയിൽ കാസ്റ്റ് കുറയ്ക്കുന്നത് പാടാണ്. സോ ഒരു നമ്മൾ അക്സെപ്റ്റബിൾ ലിമിറ്റിൽ ക്വാളിറ്റി കൊണ്ടുപോയി വച്ചിട്ട് then we can try to work out the particular cost actually. So this team develops the selected ideas. That means previously we might have discussed brainstorming session undallo. There we will be having a lot of ideas. Out of that they select some good ideas and they pick it, and they pick the best ideas and they evaluate that particular session and they allow it to be implemented. They allow it to be documented, right? So here, I mean, previous case we have, in previous slide like we identify the best of the lot many solutions which are available, which were identified in the brainstorming session, right? So in the presentation phase, a best alternative we identify cheyadallo previous idale. So that particular team will be allowed to generalize or else develop that particular concept, and they will be allowed to present their idea, so that present the idea in front of the authority who have the rights to allow them to implement the proposed idea. Okay, so that means what I am trying to say is, in previous slide I told you they have a brainstorming session and they come up with the alternative solution, right? Alternative solution, and this particular phase the identified alternative solutions will be allowed to present in front of the authorities, and this particular authorities will further evaluate the proposed ideas, and they will be in case if that is acceptable, they will be allowed to implement. So since the authority has allowed that particular idea which has been presented in the brainstorming session to be developed, this particular implementation and follow-up step is being performed actually. So this is where we develop a strategy for the identified solution, and then since we have developed the strategy for the identified solution or else an alternate solution, we execute a plan to develop that, and then while executing that particular plan, certainly we will have we should have a strategy to monitor the performance of the implementation as well. So here the management who is governing this particular implementation particular step, they will be evaluating that particular team's performance, whether they are actually converting their ideas into actions. Okay, so value, in short what I am saying is, value engineering means നമുക്ക് multiple solutions ഉണ്ടാവും. ചിലപ്പം say for example ഇത് high cost solution ആണ്, ഇത് low cost solution ആണ്, ഇത് ഒരു type mid cost solution ആണ്. Okay അല്ലേ? So the idea is identifying this solution which can provide almost the same functionality of the high cost one. തീരെ താഴെയും പോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല, പാടില്ല. അത് ഹൈ കാസ്റ്റിൽ കിട്ടുന്ന പെർഫോമൻസ് തന്നെ, പക്ഷേ ഒരു മിഡ് കാസ്റ്റിൽ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടാൻ പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ ഐഡൻറ്റിഫൈങ് ദിസ് പർട്ടിക്കുലർ സൊല്യൂഷൻ ആൻഡ് ഇംപ്ലിമെൻറ്റേഷൻ ഓഫ് ദിസ് വൺ. So this is called value engineering. Thank you very much.